ignore the TYT radio for a minute. I'm just proving that my Heavens Above and GPredict are correct. And the next satellite due to appear is NOAA 19, which is there on Heavens Above, and up here, or up here if you prefer, on GPredict. So when we get a semblance of a signal, and it's a much wider signal than that, it's about 37 kilohertz wide. So what I will do, we'll just witness the comparison between Heavens Above on my mobile phone, which I'm linking through Samsung Flow for those who are interested, and GPredict, which is set on my PC. And all the different cameras and things are meshed together in OBS Studio so that we can see what's going on. And then we'll follow through with an amateur radio satellite, which apparently 27 isn't far behind it. Now this is the peak, 1057. Maximum elevation according to Heavens Above is 1058. Now I'm not going to quibble over 1 minute. I'm really not. There's so much stuff going on that is more important in terms of the TYT satellite predictions. So I posted on Facebook on the TYT group, and I've been following people's reactions to this issue. And basically they've said, check your time settings, check your local time, check your global position, my home QTH position. I've got that right to so many digits, it's unbelievable, which is why I'm not going to show it to you. But I'm in squared IO92X, and you will see that appear on the screen. So I'm confident that these are correct. Okay, so NOAA 19 is now 6 minutes from peaking. We should start to get a signal, and I haven't zoomed the display. So the display is being tracked, the frequency is being shifted by GPredict, or should be. It isn't because it's the wrong frequency. And there it is. So there's NOAA 15, if you want to hear it. So I'm not going to attempt to decode it, but we'll just witness the apogee when it's at its closest point to us overhead. I'll point out before we look at the TYT that the TYT and the SDR are on different antenna. So the TYT is on a vertical DX50 and the SDR is on a horizontal dipole, a folded dipole. And I'm just using it as general monitor. I'm not trying to do anything clever. You'll see some other spurious frequencies around here which are airband, and occasionally we do get signals from radar and squawk and stuff like that. So it's quite a busy part of the waveband, yeah, and I've got it zoomed in just so we can witness this lovely signal. I'm not going to record it, I'm not going to decode it, that's a whole different ballgame. So there's a whole bunch of things going to be going on. So we're getting close to the apogee time at 10:58. Now the signal is nulling out as it goes overhead. It's a light, won't on that one. There's a bit of mush involved. So it's just gone overhead and it's now heading south. So it's heading out over my garage. Got a pretty clear view on this path. So it's strange that the signal is so poor. But we can see that the signal is shrinking. So it's now gone past the apogee and starting to get weaker. And to me that proves that Heavens Above is correct. It proves that GPredict is correct. So now we need to set up for another satellite pass. So I'll just pause while I do that. And this time I'll get the TYT involved.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've selected AO27 as the next satellite. which is supposed to apogee. Oh, it's going to set at 11:04. That's strange because this one says it's going to rise at 11:04. So there's a discrepancy straight away. And looking on the TYT, the top setting is close. It's saying it's rising at 10:56. So there it is coming into the path, and it's going to flow southwards. And there, Heavens Above says it's already gone. So that's hilarious. So actually we've got a discrepancy on AO27 because according to GPredict, it's not here yet. It's just off the bottom of the screen down.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I've set up for AO92, also known as Fox 1D. And you'll see that it's due at 11:16. It's now 11:06. So we'll set that, and it says it's going to pass, and it's going to be a low pass. So we're not going to be able to pick it up anyway. But the strange thing is that GPredict says it's due at 11:33, and Heavens Above say it's due at 11:33 as well. So it's flipping wrong, and it's wrong by about 15 minutes on AO92. That's very strange and quite annoying. So I'm quite baffled by this. I really don't know what's going on because the discrepancies don't even seem to be consistent. Sometimes it's a few minutes out. When the ISS goes over, it's fairly close and you can actually receive it because the frequency is not so far off, although the timings are horrible. I don't know. Ignore this activity here, that's my local repeater, GB3NF. So it's rather strange that the downlink is in the middle of the... I was going to say it's strange that it's in the middle of the 2 metre band, but it will be, won't it, because it's an amateur radio repeater. An amateur radio satellite. This is the local radio group having the Saturday morning chinwag. I know because I quite often listen in. So we get some really inconsistent stuff and it's flipping annoying. So that's saying 11:16 on this path and 12:49 on the next one. So I'll make a note of that. So it's bonkers. It's saying the current elevation is minus 23 degrees. It's actually minus 56. Oh dear, maximum 14 degrees on that one. Just cross-reference AO92. Now, I'm looking on n2yo.com, which is brilliant, but not getting meaningful information.
A few moments later.
Okay, so we're looking at AO92, and some time has elapsed. So what you're seeing on the TYT, which I'm pointing out so you can't see, what you're looking at on the TYT is it's actually got the time set for the next pass, which is 1 hour 12 minutes. But if we look on here, we'll see that it's not even come over my location yet. Probably easier to see up here. So it's just about to come to the apogee, which will be about here. I'm not actually getting a signal from it yet, but it's pretty low orbit. But currently at 18 degrees elevation, so it's not likely that I'll be able to pick it up, to be honest. Because it'd have to be southwestern. I bet I'm more likely to pick it up when it's southwesterly. But the apogee is at 11:38, which is about now. And on here also, they're saying 11:43. So we'll give it the benefit for a couple of minutes. That's the setting time, not the AOS. But that's because we're past the AOS time. So the AOS time would have been a few minutes sooner, and that 11:43 LOS ties up with this on Heavens Above. So the AOS was 11:33, but I was busy doing something with a mobile phone contract. That's completely irrelevant. So that one came early. We haven't got a lot more events to look at here, so the next one's not till 12:11. So I'll try and track that one. Don't know what that satellite is because it isn't giving any information. So how can it possibly be? If it knows where it is, it should have an event. If it hasn't got an event, maybe it just doesn't have radio frequencies for it. So I'm at a loss here. So the timing seemed to be both before and after, depending how you look at it, and whether you're looking at the ISS or one of the other satellites. What's next on here is AO27 at 12:36. So that one is due at 12:29. So it's absolutely bonkers. So that's 3 minutes out. So I'll try and come back on that one and we'll see where it is. But to me, it's nonsensical. It really is 12:36. How does that make any sense to anyone? That's 12:36 and this is 12:29, and yet the other satellite was out in a completely different direction. So let's have a look at AO27. That's not the right pass. So 12:29 is the rising time. That says 12:29. I'll give you that. That's exactly the same. And on our radio, it says 12:36. It's close, but it's not close enough because you could easily miss it. It'll be past its apogee by 12:35. I'm going to come back and see what happens around that time. So totally confused. I'm open to any suggestions. There are no daft suggestions other than the ones I've already tried. I don't know. Is it because I'm using OpenMD77? Other people are using it successfully, but I don't see a lot of people doing transmissions with it. And I'd really like to do two-way transmissions. That's kind of one of the reasons. That's one of the things that attracted me to this radio. Is it's got full duplex capability, and I've built a co-polarized antenna, dual band antenna for it, which I will reveal in due course.
A few moments later.
Okay, so I just noticed something on the help guide. It hasn't made any difference before we even go anywhere with it. Certainly on this satellite, on the AO27 that I'm watching. But it says a number of things. The operator must enter their location as well as the current date and time. Also, the satellite orbital data KEPs must be uploaded, the Kepler files. If the operator has not entered the date or time and location, they will be prompted to do it, bizarrely, because of what it says next. After power cycling the radio, the date and time will be cleared. Disagree, but we'll go with it. Uploading the latest Keplers from the CPS also upsets the date and time. So it's often easier in practice to upload the KEPs than to set the date and time manually. That's interesting. So when using the satellite functionality, the operator does not need to set the frequency or CTSS. That's fine. I see. If for transmitting, you would need to press SK1 to arm the satellite. So there's some interesting notes there, but none of it actually affects the data, as far as I can tell. Let's do some more digging, because I've got half an hour before the satellite arrives. So I've just entered a different satellite now that we've updated the Keplers again. So AO92 should be start appearing at 13:05. Heavens Above says 13:05, 35 degrees elevation. And the radio says 12:49 and 56 degrees elevation. It's flipping wrong. No matter how you look at it, it's wrong. It's not usable, and I'm disappointed because this is one of the things that I really hope to do with it. So let's pick that and go. So it's saying 54 minutes time, which is right on its calculation, but it's not right in the sense that it's going to appear in 1 hour, 10 minutes. That's at 12:49 when it should be 13:05. Unless that's jumped ahead a pass. 12:49, but it's not, it's 13:05. So that's 56 degrees elevation, which is wrong. That one's 7 degrees elevation, which is wrong, and that one's 13 degrees elevation. It bears no resemblance at all to what I'm actually doing. I haven't interfered with the satellite file or anything. I'm totally confused. I'm quite annoyed because it's taking up so much of my time. It's stopping me doing other things. So I'll post this for you guys to comment on, and I think I'm going to pack it up for today and do something else.